video to show you how to bone out an animal without removing any of the guts. We're here in Hawaii on the island of Molokai. Lisa, the camera person here, just downed this beautiful axis deer, and it's actually a chital, or it's not a buck, it's a stag, and the does are called hinds. So we're going to get the knives out here. We're going to take the antlers off first. They're a little tender, they're in velvet, but they'll preserve just perfectly. Knives are a little dirty because we did this yesterday and got a nice 30-inch buck. So I'm going to show you the deer and everything, and then we're going to skip through to piece by piece show you how to bone every piece of meat off of this thing, and you'll never see the guts. You'll never see the heart, liver, any of the organs, anything. So here's Lisa's stag right here. Nice little buck. She got him at 250 some yards. They were at 500, and we were planning a stalk, and then they came closer to 300, and we were still planning a stalk. And you know, I always say, let's go hunt. They're not going to come to us. But today, I was wrong. They came right to us, 250 yards. She scared the hell out of me with the shot. I had no idea she was ready. I doubted her shot because it was so quick, and we went up, and here he is. So, anyway. Okay, so it's not usually the first thing that we do, but because these are a little tender, they're still hard. They're still a hard antler, but we want to keep this velvet because it's really cool. We want to keep it intact. So you got a mosquito on your face. There you go. So we're going to take the rack off first so it doesn't get damaged when we flop the deer around. And then we're going to zip this right up the back, and then we're going to lay the skin out just like a blanket. So the skin's going to be like a blanket so we don't get any of the weeds and stuff on it. So the first thing that we do is we're just going to go down like this. And we're going to take this like that, and we're just going to peel all the skin back. And then we're going to take a saw. This is just a regular old Leatherman. We're going to take this saw blade, we're going to cut it from eye to eye, and then right in the back, and then this way. And we'll go through that here in a second. Remember, hon, nobody likes a 20-minute YouTube video. Okay, so we made the cut back here, and then we went sideways here, cut the back of the eye and went that way on both sides. And now we just go from about the center of the eye, maybe a little bit towards its nose, and right in here. The Leatherman's good because it's got the knife on it. You can peel the skin back. And it's got the saw, and it's really compact, so you don't have to carry around a big Herkin saw, alligator tooth saw. So now that we have everything cut, you'll find out how good you did on your cuts. Step on the nose, and then step on the upper part. Or back here. If you did it right, here's your antlers. And then just trim all the meat off, take the brain out, and You know what the last thing that went through his brain was? Oh shit. Okay, so now we're just gonna go from the back all the way up to the top. And it's really pretty easy if you've got a sharp knife. We're just gonna unzip it. Gut hook works okay, but for some reason I like to go from the back up. And if you did that with a gut hook, because you're not going with the grain of the hair, you're gonna cut a lot of hair. So I just like to do this, and you can see that there's no hair there. You're just gonna unzip it all the way up. Sharp knife is very important. And then it gets really thick up here. You're gonna have to make some chops like this up around the neck. That skin around the neck is really tough. And bloodshot. Nice shot. Okay, so we're just going to peel back the back straps for right now. On this side, we're going to leave it about there because we don't want to expose the hind quarter yet to the grass, because we're going to have to flop it over a little bit more to get this side off. Okay. Okay, so we got one back strap off. Okay, here's your second back strap. And here in Hawaii, we just put it in plastic bags and haul it directly to ice. You know, in normal parts in the nation, you're gonna hang your deer and everything. Can't do it here, it'll just spoil. So we got the back straps removed. Now we're gonna take the hind quarter over here. Okay, guts are still in it. The only part that we're gonna expose is right here, and we'll do that later, and that's to get the tenderloin up in the top there. Okay, so now we've taken all the meat off the hind quarter. We salvaged a little bit off of the front quarter because somebody put a bullet through there and made a big mess. So what we've done is taken all the skin off of the hind and the front on this side, and now you're just going to take off your wrist. You're going to take off the top wrist here, a little bit of meat right in here. Going to salvage this for stew. And on the when you're doing this, a little tip, many of you probably know this, but you just poke a hole in there. It gives you a good finger hold so you can really stretch it good and you don't get a bunch of meat when you're taking the skin off. And then we're just going to go find that bone right there. You can see the line right there. We're just going to peel that back, and you can see that we're not cutting meat. There's a big muscle right there. follow that bone down, like so. Like I said earlier, you know, best case scenario, you get these things out whole, but we're like 3 miles back in, and this is a close one. Getting it out whole is not an option, whether we could hang it or not. So for all of you backcountry hunters, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you probably already know how to do this. But for those that don't, this is how you bone out an animal without ever removing the guts. And that's where all your toxins are. Your meat's going to spoil and go bad and get rancid, probably because you hit a piss sac or an intestine, lower intestine. You can say piss sac. And you notice that the tenderloins are right up in here underneath the back strap, and we haven't cut that out on either side yet. That's the last step, because it's really, this guy's full. He ate all night, and there's a really good chance that you could clip that stomach. Lisa made me throw away a tenderloin one time because I clipped the stomach and it got stomach goo on it. Like, come on, you can just wash it off. But no.
Shows that.
There's your top. We make burger out of most of this, obviously steaks out of the back strap. You just go down to the bone on everything. Just follow that bone on the underside here. And then on the side here, and just get all that meat off of there. Every little piece here is good for burger. Now, this is the front shoulder meat. Okay, there's the biggest piece of your front shoulder, and there's some behind there. We'll grab this piece right here. What I like to call the grinder clogger. Just got a bunch of tendons in there. It's not much good for stew on a deer, especially an old one. Don't know what they do with the beef, but this one really likes to clog up the grinder. But we try to take as much of this animal as possible. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal. Make sure that we utilize as much of it as we possibly can, with the exception of bloodshot meat. We feed that to our friends. Okay, so that's all that, and there's an easy way to get that front shoulder off of there and get that meat behind there. Just kind of carve it out like that. There's no bone here connecting the front shoulder. There's no joint, so you can just peel all the meat off it like that and feed that to your dog. Okay, so got every bit of meat off of here that we can possibly get off. We've got the neck meat, front shoulder, behind the front shoulder, a little bit of this stuff here, and got it all on the other side with the exception of the bloodshot. Now we're going to get the last two pieces of meat, and those are your tenderloins. So you just kind of go right in here. You can see it right there, right above the ribs. So here's your big rib, and then you got your little short ribs back here, and you can see it right there. You can see that this guy, that's not gut, that's just from a lung shot. Okay, so now you just need to put your hand in there, get that gut away from there. Man, this guy's fat.
Wow.
going to be a tough winter in Hawaii. Okay, so now you're just going to go up and go right underneath those short ribs, all the way back. And just go to the end, which is right there at the pelvis. Keep carving. Don't cut your fingers, and you'll see the end of it right there. Go through here. I'm going to get a good grip on it now. We're just going to feather our knife in there. Like so. Touching bone as much as possible so that we stay away from the guts. And there is your tenderloin. That's considered the best cut on the deer. And by the way, the axis deer is considered the best venison. If you've never tried axis, come to Molokai. It is good stuff. Okay, here's your second tenderloin, and put it all in plastic bags. Wrap it, double wrap it, stick it in our packs, and away we go. And when I say our packs, I mean my pack. She's a good shooter, but I haven't taught her how to pack yet. So anyway, there you have it. Hope you learned something. Hope it was helpful. Aloha.